many things did you cross off your list of your to-do list in practice you had?
I really didn't have any. We just wanted to train and work on things, refine things, fine tune. So we got 2 days to actually do that. That's one of the things they commented, like, God, it's the first time we felt like we really had a practice yesterday and today.
You feel
So
like
it's,
you made progress in those 2 days?
yeah, well, we're working on things and fine tuning and it was pretty high level today, yesterday. I think they were fired up to practice, to be honest with you. I mean, I think they were fired up to drill, to get reps. I mean, they're used to that, so I thought our energy was great and they were fired up.
Do you think you'll play Stanford next year?
I don't know. I'm gonna talk to Kevin about it because we got to completely rethink scheduling, and who knows what the conferences are gonna do. So long-term commitments are gonna be out. It's just gonna be year to year because I mean we could have this time next year we have 4 more teams in the conference. So, but I'd like to talk to Kevin and see what he's thinking and try to continue to play Stanford. But I don't know what they're thinking, but this is the final year of the 4-year deal. And, we gotta start looking at travel too. I mean, do we wanna make another trip to California? It's easy for them right now, they're not in school. So look at the travel we're gonna have in the Big Ten, and then we got a side trip to California to play them. We're gonna have to manage that, and we're gonna have to manage our budget. So, but with revenue sharing, there's gonna be some pressure to save money.
Would you like to continue to play them occasionally?
Love to, yeah. So I gotta talk to him, see what he's thinking.
More of those preseason tournament type
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Speaking of that schedule, I mean, you mentioned that you've played 9, you will play 11 matches in non-conference. Is that your ideal number? What would you rather play?
Well, usually we play 10, I think. So now that we don't have to play 3 matches in a weekend or 2 days, it's able to space it out a little more. But it's still, this year really felt well, it had been 10 and then we added the extra one. So that's made it 11. So it feels like plenty. But I want to try to get away from 3 matches in a week, spread out. I mean, we played 6 matches in 12 days. And you got to take days off. We traveled on one of those, so man, it just crams the week.
When you got into coaching and had to start doing scheduling, did you have an example, like a role model that top 15 programs should be playing top 15 programs during the non-conference?
To be honest with you, for us, we're just trying to get teams to come here and play home matches, and they'll come here if you pay them, or they'll come here if you return. So those are 2. So last year we went to K-State came here, we went to K-State to return that. SMU came here, we went to SMU. So we'll do a couple of those, but we do it. And again, it's another thing I think we have to think about is we're going to have to be more regionalized, I think, in our non-conference scheduling, so we don't have the travel costs. Because I mean, our budget's gone way up just with the trips we added in the Big Ten this year.
Do you think there'll be less of the top 15 programs playing top 15 programs in non-conference?
It's going to depend on each school. When they have to come up with $23 million, something's going to give. Because all these programs don't have schools don't have $23 million just sitting around. So I've already had talks with Troy, and we're talking about strategies and what we're going to need to do and how we can try to save money. And so those things are being talked about. And we may be told, some schools may be told, hey, you're not leaving more than 300-mile radius, you got bus. I guarantee there's going to be teams in the Big Ten, you can bus. But, fly to Hawaii, fly to California, those types of things, and travel costs are expensive now, they've gone up.
You think that'll hurt the sport?
Like going to Palo Alto, you know what a hotel is in Palo Alto?
300.
It's more than that. That's sushi dinner's 300. I'm serious. The prices out there. Just for example, it's a very, very expensive place to go to.
Will that hurt the sport if the non-conference opponents aren't as good?
No, I think there's so many good teams now. So I don't think so. No, we'll be able to get good matches.
the players said that this is kind of like a Final Four week. Is that how you're approaching the mentality of playing the caliber of
Well, it
teams?
is. We're ranked 5th, and 2 teams are ahead of us. So this is a top 4 week. So, but this is, you know, this will be a great test tomorrow and then Sunday and going into the Big Ten Conference. I mean, we're going to learn some more this week of how we need to play and you know, how to compete with these guys. And you know, you learn a lot. You can learn a lot in practice, but you can learn a lot playing in these matches.
What are the challenges of defending a Cami Minor offense?
Well, same as everybody we play. I mean, it's they got good hitters. They do everything really well. She fires the ball around. She's very offensive, and so that's what you have to do against the All-American setters.
The match against the locals on ABC, just more eyes, more national television opportunities for the sport. What do you think a match like that, a top 5 match on ABC on an NFL Sunday?
Well, the first thing is I hope they do the call to the pole.
Call the post.
Yeah, call to the post, yeah. And I hope ABC gets that on, because that's really cool. I've asked our band, I was at the football game, I ran to the band, I said, hey, who can do that? And I talked to one of the guys, the directors, and he said, there's not many guys in the head trumpet that can play that. I guess it's really hard to play. But the other thing of the ABC for me is Wide World of Sports. So if you had told me 30 years ago we're going to be on ABC, Wide World of Sports, I would have thought, wow, for volleyball. But I just think it's showing where volleyball's going. I mean, ABC, Fox, you know, Big Ten, ESPN. Volleyball's getting really big, and the big TV people want to show it. So that's pretty cool. And Danny texted me today, said they're opening the upper bowl, which means they're going to be over 10,000. So this is a great event.
What's it been like on the sidelines of football last couple games? You hung around after the team was recognized for Colorado, and then last week you were talking to Troy for a little bit, but then hanging out next to the bench. You know, what's that been like in that environment?
I love it. So down there with the boys, feeling it, and yeah, it's great. The environment and our people here do an amazing job of their footballs are a lot of timeouts. But we do a great job of keeping it moving and keeping it interesting and keeping fans fired up. It's just amazing to me. I mean, Troy and I, that's what we were talking about, like the whole environment down there, and our event management people, whoever does all that stuff, it's just, they do a heck of a job. And then, at the end of the third quarter, I mean, that is mind blowing. I was watching all the other teams are like, they're like, man, this is, you can see they're just watching this whole thing, so hats off to Nebraska. It's gotta be one of the best environments in college football, no question.
Back to Danny, just them opening up the upper bowl for that match, like what does that say about what she has built there, and how proud are you of what she's been able to build there?
Very proud, and that's, they're playing in the Yum Center a lot, and this will probably be the biggest crowd so far this year, but if she could play in her little gym, that's only 1,500 or whatever it is. So Louisville's hosting the Final Four, so this is a great preview and build up for the Final Four, and I think the Final Four is sold out, as I think so. So, and again, she's got that program where they got a shot to be in it, so doesn't get much better than that.
As her former coach, like what does that do for you, just when you see what she's doing?
I just remember when she was a snot-nosed little freshman giving me problems, and then when I remember, and then when I told her she wasn't gonna be a setter anymore, she disappeared for 3 days. She flipped me off and walked out. So those are the things I remember. But no, I talked to playing Kentucky out there, Skinner. He's done an amazing job. So those guys have got it going out there. It's awesome.
John, looking at tomorrow's match, you have a national power and a team that's undefeated. From the outside, the crowd, all your fans think this is a huge match, but given your schedule and all the other opponents you have, they all seem huge.
Yeah.
You guys kind of get numb to, I guess,
No,
the excitement behind some of these games you're playing?
Well, this one will be hyped up a little more because they're ranked so high. I mean, in one poll they're number 1, and they just beat Texas, and they beat Minnesota. So this one probably is gonna But it's also week 4, so again, it's a time to step up even, you know, another notch. And that's what our goal will be, to see if we can take it up another notch.
What do you remember about playing Stanford last year? A lot of people point to that match as a moment in which your young team at that time realized that they were as good as they were.
Yeah, that was a defining moment for our season last year, to go to Stanford and win, and I'm sure they have not forgotten that. So we're probably going to get a great shot from them. So, but that was a defining moment last year for our team, to go out there and get a win, and because I'm not sure we really knew how good we could be, and those are the matches you need to go through. So if you win them, you get a lot of confidence. If you lose them, you're going to learn a lot. So these are great matches to play, especially going into the Big Ten.
With Cammie, like, if fans are watching her and trying to study and see what a good setter, a great setter does, what should they notice about what she does?
You know, does she give her headers good swings? Does she get them one-on-one? Is she moving it around? You know, how well does she serve, block, and play defense? I mean, she's a great athlete, so she'll be fun to watch. I mean, because she does everything really well. She'd probably get hit for them if, you know, they wanted her to. So it's just a great athlete playing the game. And was she been there? Is this her 5th year? Yeah. And you know, they run a pretty fast offense, and so she'll be flying around.
Final questions? Okay. Seattleman?
Okay, guys, thanks.